Hey, what's up everybody? This is JT with Funcrush.com, and today we're going to build a Python program using imports and a while loop. Mainly for beginners. It's a pretty small program, 40 lines or less. More than likely, if you're searching around for import or Python beginner videos, you know what a print statement is and variables, but I'll cover those as well. I use Ninja to code with. It's for Python applications. Doesn't really matter which text editor you use as long as you have an editor. Even the one you download with Python from their site, python.org, it'll come with one and a shell. So let's build. We'll go up to File. We're going to create a new file. And when you have a comment, just put a little number sign in there. And anything you type past this, the interpreter or compiler will never read. I use Python 3.3, I believe it is. Does not matter which version you have as long as it's not 2. As long as you have Python 3, whatever updates come after this will still work. So let's import, right? So we'll have import random, and that just means we're importing a random class from the Python library to use in order to create this game. And you just declare that up on top so that you don't have to worry about it again. So after we import the random, we're now going to set one quick variable, and I'll tell you why. Is because we just said that we're going to have a user guess a number between 1 and 100 in less than 10 tries. So that try will hold the user's guessing up to 10. So let's get a little bit of interactivity going. Let's ask the user for their name, right? And because you just asked the user to do something, let's have a way to keep track. This is a variable, and when you ask the user for information, their name, their address, their phone number, whatever you're asking for, you have to have a way to store that. And by saying name equals input, it just means whatever that user inputs is what's going to be stored in name. And you can see with Python how smooth it is. There's no real syntax except, I mean, when you code with C or VB, whatever you're coding with, there's all kinds of syntax you have to adhere to. But with Python, it's beautiful. I mean, you can see it's pretty easy to code with, and that's why so many people use it. So we'll go down here, and after you have the simple print statement, let's tell the user what we want them to do. So we're going to say hello, Rebecca, Jennifer, John, Jackie, whatever they type in, right? And we're going to have them their name by now. So when you see the plus signs, it just means you're connecting the variables to the print statement. It's just a way to connect them. And you're going to say hello, Alexa, guess a number between 1 and 100. You have 10 tries. And you see how the 10 tries. Now you see where that variable came from, right? So you're just going to you're setting it to 0. When you see 1 equal sign, it's assigning. So you're just assigning that variable. So let's go back down here and let's create the game. So now the user knows what's happening. They know that we want them to guess a number. So let's just go back up here and make it pretty. Let's just put a new line in here. Now when you see this, that /n just simply means a space, so that when you actually export out to that shell, when you run the program, it will actually look nice. So let's create it, right? First thing we have to do is actually create the number. So see how we have random? We already imported the random class. So once you do that and you type random dot, it's going to give you a whole boatload of options to choose from as far as what you want to do with that random, the class, right, the module. And you see here, right, we're assigning number. Well, we're going to assign the random number to the variable number. And so we're just going to use an integer, right? So for random integer, and then let's set that limit to 100. So now we know for a fact whatever random number is generated is going to be between 1 and 100. And now we're going to build a loop in order to test the conditions of whatever that user is entering. So we're going to put a while loop in here for this game, and we're going to put while tries is less than 10, do this. And I sort of like a Boolean expression, but I don't want to get too specific here. You're just basically saying, as long as the user hasn't used their 10 guesses, then they can have as many more up till 10. So let's make it do something now. And to make it a little bit more cool, let's just do one more variable. Let's do GT, which equals guesses taken, right? And we'll set that to tries. And then with that, let's make it a string in order to have some fun. So we'll put GT. And what I did was tries is set to 0 right now, and tries is actually part of my condition expression. So I have to, in order to print out what that number is, convert to a string. So that's why I put guesses taken as far as GT goes. And you'll see why. Because look, we're going to now ask the user to take a guess, right? Guesses taken. GT. See that? So now, because you can't have integers or any kind of other besides a string inside a print statement, I had to hold the value of tries in GT, then set that GT to a string just so I can simply print it out. Okay? And this way, the user is going to know how many guesses he or she has taken. Therefore, they'll still be in that 1 to 10 limit. It's just for more user interactivity. So now, we just prompted the user to do something, right? So now what do we have to do? We have to then hold that. So let's put guess. Guess equals input, right? Because we're asking them to take a guess between 1 and 100. So now let's turn that guess, that input, into an integer, because we have to. And the reason why is because right here we're seeing if try is less than 10. Well, guess is going to actually test the number to see if it's the actual number. And you'll see that in a second. And then we have to put a counter in. And what this counter does is every single time this loop is executed, it's going to add 1 to tries. So that's how it's going to know if it's less than 10. So the first time a user guesses a number, it's going to be 1, then 2, then 3. And as soon as it goes to 9, well, they have, obviously that's the last guess. And so that's why you have to have this counter in here. And we're already 3/4 done. So now let's test the expression. So here's where that user input of guess comes into play. So if we have guess is less than the number, and again, we have no idea what that number is. So if guess is less than number, let them know. Right? Because we already know 3 things are going to happen. That's it. There's only 3 possible scenarios. They're either going to guess low, guess high, or guess it right. So if guess is greater than number, let them know. Now, what's the only other outcome, right? What did I do up here? Let's put is greater than. Sorry about that. And so we'll put if guess is equal to number. Then we're going to break out. So this means when you see 1 equal sign, it means you're assigning something. When you see 2, it means you're comparing something. So now we're comparing guess to number if they're equal, right? Another Boolean. So we'll put break, and here's the actual loop right here, right, folks? So there's only 2 possible ways this loop is going to end. So while tries is less than 10, execute, or if they guess the right number, break away. So if they ever come down to this one, and if guess is the right number, it's going to break out a loop regardless of anything else up here. It's just going to end. So we're pretty much done. So now let's tell them what's going to happen if they do. If they guess the right number, then they win. If they don't guess the right number, and that's how you do that with the not equal sign. If they don't guess the right number, then we'll tell them what that number is. And that's why, again, I have to convert number into a string just to print it out to let everybody know what the number was they couldn't guess. Because it cannot be an integer, right? Because right now, number is a random integer, so we'll just convert it right back down here to a string to print it out because they lost the game. You lose, right? Number. Bam. So the number was, and then they're going to print out the number. You're done, right? So let's save this and make sure you save it to the right directory, because otherwise, if you don't save it to the right directory, it just won't work, right? So we'll put 3, and we're good. So let's run this puppy, and we'll put run file. Hello, what is your name, right? So we'll go down here and we'll put in Funcrush, and it says hello Funcrush. Guess a number between 1 and 100. You have 10 tries. Take a guess. So we'll put in 50. Okay, that's too high, so that means it's a low number. So we'll put 40, and it looks like we're high again. So we'll put 30, and so now we know it's for a fact between 30 and 40, right? Let's put 35. So now we know it's between 34 and 31. So 34, and that's the one. We win. Congrats, right? Great job. Let's run this sucker again, and let's just test it out, right? Hello, what is your name? And we'll just put down here, we'll put Funcrush again. And then we'll also put down 1, right? We're too low. We'll do 2, then 3, then 4. Oh my, right, figures. I guess the right number. Well, let's do it one more time, and then we'll make sure we put the Funcrush, and then let's just make sure it's the wrong number here, just so we see that it goes to their other loop. It's gonna break. It's gonna go down and tell us what that number is. See here? So you lose. The number was 60. So there you have it, folks. Python for beginners. You just built your first game. Check back for more. I'm going to build a whole lot more. It's going to get more advanced as we go. Not sure if I'll turn this into a series more so than a random number of videos, but hit me up, jt@funcrush.com. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any ideas. Let me know if you think you're awesome and I suck. Whatever you want to do, and give me some feedback. Share it around, and hope you guys learn. Python's great. Love it, and may you build the best build. Thanks, folks. Bye.